Dear students, we shall discuss module 25, business restructuring and the demerger. Now, before I move into demerger, let me talk a small about the business restructuring. What is a business restructuring? Business restructuring means you are restructured your affairs. You reconstruct your affairs in the best way through which you can do your business efficiently. Right? Now, there are several avenues. The examples are maybe sole proprietorship business converted into a partnership business or a LLP, or a partnership firm converted into a company, or take an example of private company which is converted into LLP, or amalgamation, demerger, slump sale. This could be the areas through which an entity, a company can make business reconstruction. So today we shall discuss the demerger. Now, basically from financial accounting point of view, that you know, demerger means hiving off or taking away one of your units. Now, basic difference between amalgamation and demerger is, in case of amalgamation, one entity gets almost dissolved. But in case of demerger, what happens? Suppose you have 3 units, paper, chemicals. Now, you wish to sell out only the paper division. So, your paper division will go off, your company will continue with chemical and the other one. Okay. So, this is the basic little demerger is. And in Income Tax Act, demerger has been defined under section 219AA. It has got a lot of, the conditions. You can read it through. 1, 2, 3 conditions I am just discussing for you, that demerger is only possible in case of companies, like amalgamation. Only the companies can go for amalgamation and the demerger, right? Then erstwhile company 1956, that section 391 to 394 has to be adhered with. Then assets to be, all assets, liabilities to be transferred, and then it should be transferred at a book value. The company which is the selling company, which is called the resulting company, or the transferor company is called the resulting company. Transferor company is the demerged company, and the transferee company is the resulting company. Now, I think you have already gone through our earlier one, the amalgamation. So, in the same way, I am going to discuss the tax implication of the demerger from 3 aspects. One, from the point of view of the demerged company or the selling company, from the point of view of the shareholders of the demerged company, and thirdly, from the point of view of the resulting company or the purchasing company. So, let's take the things one by one. First of all, from the point of view of the demerged company. Now, what happens in case of demerged company? Some assets are transferred, not all assets, because I told you, if I have 3 units, right, my total asset comprises assets of all 3 units, but I am transferring only 1 unit. So, what you will do, from your total block of the assets, you deduct the opening WDV of the assets which are being transferred, right? And number 2 is the demerged company can enjoy proportionate depreciation. You know that proportionate depreciation means the period for which the assets is enjoyed by the demerged company, they can claim depreciation on that, and the period for which it is been enjoyed by the resulting company, they can claim depreciation on it. But you know, income tax general rule is depreciation not proportionate. When you are allowing depreciation only on the value of the asset which existed on the closing date. And number 3 is you will appreciate there is a transfer of assets, because demerged company is transferring asset to the resulting company. Now, basically any transfer of assets will rise capital gain, but we have a specific provision under capital gain section 49 that they have stated this is an exempted transfer. That means whenever the assets transferred by the demerged company to the resulting company, it will an exempted transfer, and which means it will not rise any capital gain. So, this transfer is not subject to any capital gain tax. It's a huge benefit. That is, you are transferring your asset, but you are not incurring any capital gains tax. Suppose, and one small point once again, that the resulting company must be an Indian company. But suppose if there is a foreign company, foreign demerged company who holds the shares of an Indian company, and if that is transferred to another foreign resulting company, that will also not attract any capital gain. It's a part of exempted transfer. So this is all about the tax implication from the point of view of the demerged company. So in a nutshell, demerged company basically not having any tax implication on the transfer of the assets and the as well as the liabilities. Number 2 is the tax implication from the point of view of the shareholders of the demerged company. Now you see, it's a very interesting case. Suppose I am a shareholder of A Limited. A Limited got 3 divisions. One of the division is being given away to B Limited. Now you know that B Limited will issue shares to A Limited against that, and as a shareholder I will get the share. So now you think my position as shareholder of A Limited, I have the shares of A Limited, as well as due to demerger I am also having the shares of B Limited. So now I am having 2 shares of A Limited and shares of B Limited. Now the very interesting problem is, then what is the cost of acquisition? Because I pay for the A Limited shares, I didn't pay for the B Limited shares. Now whenever I have got 2 shares, I might sell these shares in future. So for that purpose, I must know my cost of acquisition. Otherwise, I cannot compute the capital gain tax, right? So now, how will you do that? They have given a very specific formula. It's given in 49(2)(c), 49(2)(d). Sections are not that important, but you know the provisions. This side, you must segregate these cost of acquisition between the shares of A Limited and B Limited. How to do that? Just it first, you compute the cost of acquisition of the shares of the resulting company. How can I do that? The formula is cost of acquisition of the shares of the demerged company multiplied by net book value of asset transferred divided by net worth. Now what is net worth? Net worth is the share capital plus reserve and surplus. Now you got one value, that is a cost of acquisition of the shares of the resulting company, and from the total, if you deduct the above, what are the remaining figure? That represent the cost of acquisition of shares of the demerged company. I think I'm clear. Next part is what is important is the period of holding, because according to that it will be either long term or short term, and the period of holding will starts from the date when you have the shares of the demerged company, right? And indexation will start from the year when the shares are being allotted by the resulting company. We have a very important case, Manjula Shah case, according to that. So these are the basic features in the hands of the shareholders of the demerged company, right? Now we will go to the implication of tax implication from the point of view of the resulting company. Number 1, now resulting company will get the assets and they must include in their block of assets at what value? Decide the value will be the opening WDV minus the depreciation which is already enjoyed by the demerged company. So you are including the asset in your block of asset at opening WDV minus depreciation allowed to the demerged company, right? And you can also get the proportionate depreciation. No harm in that, because we know. Then it is a similar way of amalgamation, a series of benefits which are given to these resulting company. I will discuss this one by one. First of all, brought forward business loss or unabsorbed depreciation in the hands of the demerged company, that will be allowed in the hands of the resulting company, once again subject to 72A, which I discussed in detail in the amalgamation. Then the next section is 35 ABA. Scientific research, it's not allowed. It is only allowed in case of amalgamation, not in case of demerger. Section 35 ABA, which talks of expenditure for obtaining right to use the spectrum, right? Then the provision is, once again, the amount you have paid for the use of the spectrum, that will be divided by the life of the spectrum, right? Suppose the life of the spectrum is 10 years. So you can allow to debit to your profit and loss statement whatever the value you pay divided by 10. Now suppose after 2 years this business got demerged, the unit. So the remaining period can be enjoyed by the resulting company. Then 35ABB, amortization of the telecom license fees. Once again the formula is the same, the amount paid for the telecom license fees divided by the remaining life of the license. Now if it is enjoyed apart by the demerged company, and balance can be enjoyed by the resulting company, right? Then we have 35D, that is amortization of preliminary expenses. You know that this is the amortization period is 5 years. Once again the same provision, that is if it is enjoyed apart by the demerged company, the remaining part can be enjoyed by the resulting company. Then 35DD which talks of the expenditure on amalgamation and demerger, right? And this is also allowed to be amortized over a period of 5 years. Now once again here is a very good part of the tax planning. Since it is to be given for 5 years means the year of occurrence, next 4 years. Now it is better that it should be borne by the resulting company, because if it is borne by the demerged company, it is better that it should be borne by the resulting company. Then the 35DDA which talks of amortization of VRS expenditure, voluntary retirement scheme expenditure. Once again the same thing, the period for which it has been enjoyed by the demerged company, the balance period can be enjoyed by the resulting company. Then 35E talks of amortization on prospecting for development of certain minerals. Once again the period of amortization is 10 years, and the same way the period which is enjoyed by the demerged company and the balance period can be enjoyed by the resulting company. Then you move on to 3619 which talks of capital expenditure on family planning, right? Now once again the period of amortization is 5 years. So you are allowed that it should be debited over a period of 5 years to your profit and loss. Now if a part is enjoyed by the demerged company, balance part can be enjoyed by the resulting company. Then we come to 2 more sections. Section 10AA. 10AA talks of profits and gains from business from the SEZ, and you know that this benefit is given in the phased way. There are first 5 years the benefit is 100% of profit of business into export turnover by total turnover. Next 5 years 50% of profit of business into export turnover by total turnover, and the balance 5 years it is 50% of profit of business into export turnover by total turnover, or transferred to SEZ reinvestment allowance reserve, whichever is lower, right? So now if a part is being enjoyed by the demerged company, the balance can be enjoyed by the resulting company. Then we have 80IAB. 80IAB talks of deduction in case of developer of an SEZ. Mind it very carefully. Section 10AA talks of profits and gains of business which is situated in SEZ, but 80IAB talks of developer of an SEZ, who develops the SEZ. So once again the period is 10 years out of 15 years from the beginning of your business. Now if a part has been enjoyed by the demerged company, the balance can be enjoyed by the resulting company. Besides that, we have also this benefit is also being given not only for demerger but also for amalgamation in case of 80IB, IC, IE. But basically these sections are either non-functioning or function in a very smaller way, so it has not been discussed. So in a nutshell, now we know that if there is a demerger, the resulting company can have a huge tax benefit. That means whatever the loss, whatever the unamortized amount which are allowed in the hands of the demerged company, now it will be allowed in the hands of resulting company. Thank you.